Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at using the shop floor interface in PrintVis Business Central. Shop floor is an easy way for your machine operators or hand work personnel to enter time into the system on a job and make sure that time and material get recorded properly for job costing and possibly invoicing if you're invoicing based on job actual cost as opposed to the quoted price. This is the interface for the shop floor. It works on both desktops and tablet devices. Touchscreens are great for it as people can come up and simply click on or tap on the tile that they need to in order to access the interface for the shop floor. In shop floor, there are several options for these users. You'll notice that it is a pared down interface compared to what you see when you're logged in as a PrintVis coordinator or as a other PrintVis user. The first thing that the user would do would be to choose login, logout, and from there they can select any of the users that have been selected. In this case, we're going to select Mark Demo, who is already logged into the system. If he wasn't logged in, we'd have an option to log in. At the end of my shift, I could select logout to log out of the system. And now I'm logged out of the system. To log in, all I do is hit New Login. I would select my user ID and hit login, and now I'm logged back in. To select my cost center, the area that I'm working, I click on Activities and select Cost Center. This brings up my list of cost centers in shop floor or in the system that I'm allowed to see. If the user's set up in our user setup to where they're limited to the cost center or department, only those cost centers would appear. In this case, my user is able to see most of the cost centers available in our system. I'm going to select our printing cost center for the 40-inch offset. Click on the line and click OK. And I'm logged in to the sheet offset 40-inch cost center. In my tile, I can see the items that are on the schedule for today, the items that are scheduled for the week, and any item that is ready for production at all. This is not anything that has been converted from a quote to an order. Any job has to at least be in the planning status code in order for it to show up on the production plan tiles. From here, if I click on today, I'm presented with a view of the jobs for today. Any job that I'm currently logged in on would show in green. Any job that's in a stopped status or a pending status shows in red. I'm also able to view the completed jobs. I can show the production plan for today if it's been not planned, if jobs have not been planned or if they have been planned, and I can filter based on the code as well. To select a job, I just very quickly click on the job and you'll notice that it brings up another screen with tiles. On this page, I have some information such as the order number, the job name, the sheet ID or section that I'm supposed to be running for this, the net quantity, the quantity out from the press that the next department is requiring, my scrap amount, and then the total quantity, so the net plus scrap, as well as any comments that have been left in this section. I can view a quality and assurance checklist. I can view any comments, and either order comments or the unit comments for that job, or I can add comments here as well, and that would show up on the job ticket. If I'm consuming inventory at this point, I can click on Consume Lot, or I can also return to stock. To begin Make Ready on this job, I simply select Set up Make Ready, and now I'm logged in on Make Ready. I can then close this window, and you'll notice that the tile for that job now has a green bar at the top, meaning that it's being worked on. To stop Make Ready, I click on the job, I come back, and I simply hit Stop Job. And now the job is in stop mode. To begin production on this or to switch to production from Make Ready, all I have to do is hit the production button. So if I'm back in Make Ready, to begin production, if I click on production, the job is now in production, and that will be updated on the status code so that anyone viewing this on the production plan will see that the job is in production. If this job is going to run over my shift and I need to stop it so that the next pressman can begin the run, all I have to do is hit Stop Job, and I'm clocked out of that job. At that point, I can hit Close, and the next shift pressman can come in and begin working on that job. If I want to mark the job complete, I simply hit Stop Job and Job Complete. And now that job has dropped off of my production plan and has moved on to the next status code. Some of the other features in the shop floor for our users, if we allow the user the option, they are able to view the job ticket. They can either view it as a PDF, or we can have our system set up to where it prints out on a printer next to the shop floor station or a centralized printer. This is especially useful if job tickets are updated after they're printed and put into production so that the pressman or the machine operator can view the most up-to-date information. That job ticket creates as a PDF, and I can open that PDF on my machine and view the PDF for that job ticket for that job. If I need to log an error on the job, I can simply select one of my 3 errors that are set up. I can select customer error, internal error, or vendor error. And it will let them know that it will flag the job in the system that there's an error on the job. If my production manager is reviewing this at the end of the day, I can also add a comment to specify what the error was. And you'll notice that our tiles have updated. That job we completed has dropped off, and now we have 12 jobs left for the day. If I start a job and I hit close, and I close this screen and I'm back out to my main Role Center page, you'll notice that a list of the jobs that I'm working on is right here in this Insight box. It'll also show the total hours that I've worked for the day and any direct or indirect hours. Direct hour is any time logged directly to a job, and indirect hour is any time not necessarily logged to a production job in the system. I also have the ability to view any planned hours for the equipment in the cost centers that I have access to for that time period specified. Some of the other available options for our user, I can view my come and my leave entries. Those are the times that I log in or log out of the system and view hours. This is especially handy if we're using shop floor to collect payroll hours, so that when your users or your operators come in for the day, they clock in, and then when they leave for the day, they log out of the system. This is a good way for them to review those hours that they've logged in for the day. I'm also able to view my time recordings that show what I logged in on. We'll make this a little bigger for you. That show what I logged in on, the hours I was logged in, the job number, and the unit, whether it was a production or a make-ready unit, as well as any wastes or comments on those. And at that point, I can add a comment if I'd like to as well, so that I can say, well, why was I on for 691 hours? And I forgot to log out for the weekend. So that lets my manager know that he might need to adjust the time for that. You can have multiple users on the same shop floor interface. To do that, I would simply select login, and then I just select my user. And now I'm logged in as Amy. And from there, I can see the jobs that she is available for on the 40-inch web, and I could run my jobs if I was Amy. So you really only need one shop floor interface for each cost center or department, depending on how spread out your production facility is.